Two ways to divide. First, I'm going to show you the way that many students are taught to divide, a way that makes the numbers kind of hard to deal with. You would look here at 27 and you recognize that you want to divide it into 1,439. You would start by saying, can 27 go into 1? Treating the 1 as though it's a ones column, not 1,000. It can't go into 1, so we leave it at that. Then we add the 1 and the 4, and we say, can 27 go into 14? No, it cannot. And we write another 0 there. Now we have to remember to move along, and we have to remember to call it by its full name. 27 into 143. That right away seems like a division question. How are we supposed to solve a division question when we have to do division already in our head? We come up with a number. 27 goes into 143. We take our best guess and say, let's say, 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. I have to remember to write it here. If I write it underneath a 9, my answer will get messed up. And I have to remember to leave that space blank right now. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. I put that in there, and I subtract. I have to borrow 1 here, and I put this here. The 3 becomes 13. 13 minus 5 is 8. 3 minus 3 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. I don't have to write the zeros in there. Now I have to remember to drop the 9 down. A strange action, but if I ignore it, my question will not be finished. How many times will 27 go into 89? Maybe 2, maybe 3. It's hard to say. I'm going to take a guess at 3. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 2 is 8. I got lucky. 9 minus 1 is 8. And 8 minus 8 is 0. 27 cannot go into 8, so 8 is my remainder. But once again, we have to remember to drop the 9 and to start our answer over here on the wrong side as opposed to this side where the ones are. If we do it another way, we ask ourselves, how many times does 27 go into 1,439? We say to ourselves, we have no idea, but we can take an estimate and we can say, I know that 27 times 10 is 270. So I'm just going to put a 10 here and say 10 times 27 is 270. Notice I'm not starting on the left side, but I'm starting on the right side where we want to. I'm not having to drop anything down. I'm just going to subtract. 9 minus 0 is 0. I have to borrow here. 13 minus 7 is 6. 3 minus 2 is 1. And the 1 comes down. So I have 1,169 before I had 1,439. I've taken 270 away from 1,439. I still have a fairly large number. This number is so big that I know I can make this much bigger. How much bigger? I can't be certain, but I can probably make it at least 3 times as big because I know that 3 times 200 is 600, and that still gives me lots of flexibility. So I'm going to guess 30 and write it there. This 0, I can just stick right here in the ones column because I know that 0 times 7 is going to be 0. Now I can just go over here to the 3 and say, what is 3 times 7? It is 21. And 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 810. I'm going to subtract this. 9 minus 0 is 9. 6 minus 1 is 5. And 11 minus 8 is 3. Now I've dropped down a lot. I look up here and I say, hey, I could use that 270 right down here. So I'm going to put another 10 here. And I know that 10 times 27 is 270. I'm going to subtract. 9 minus 0 is 9. Here I have to borrow. 15 minus 7 is 8. And 2 minus 2 is 0. I don't have to write that in there again. I'm now way down at 89. Let's say my estimating skills are really weak. I can just say, you know what, 27 goes into 89. once for sure, and I'm positive it'll go in twice. So I'm just going to put a 2 there. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. I subtract. 9 minus 4 is 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. How many times can 27 go into 35? It only goes once. So I put a 1 there. I put 27 here. I subtract. I have to borrow here. 15 minus 7 is 8. 27 cannot go into 8, so 8 is my remainder. Now when I did this question, I had my answer sitting right there. What do I have here? A bunch of numbers along the side. Those are all my estimates that worked. All I have to do now is add them up. 10 plus 30 is 40, plus 10 is 50, plus 2 is 52, plus 1 is 53. My answer, 53, and if I like, I can write it right up there on the top. So this way, I'm treating the numbers for their full value, and I'm only using estimates. And remember, worst case, if you've got a piece of paper that's long enough, you can divide it by 10 every single time, and you will get to the answer. It just may take you a while. I hope one of these two methods helps you.